Yo, it's almost 4:30. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
This is the Social Noah.
1, 2. You want top dollar and pop bottles and drop knowledge. Hit the throttle on nice autos without college. Do yourself a solid, put them boys on your screen. Wait, who do you mean? I mean Canteen and Beans. When the social norm is on, you better pay attention. They teach you lessons, make you laugh when you're stressing. Must I mention that the style is infectious? I gotta have it, I gotta have it. The rapid fire gabbing on my tablet. My boys established a gamut of information from relations to dating to when your leader gets impatient. They're lacing the nation every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:30. The Social Norm Podcast, you heard me?
It's the Social Norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the Social Norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the Social Norm.
And I'm
Yep. Yo. You already know what it is, man. We back at it again with another one. I'm your boy Canteen. This my man Beans.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, it's the Social Norm where we talk to you fellas, make you think a little different, open your minds up so y'all can be the best y'all can be. Now, today is Monday. We got through the weekend. I hope everybody had a great weekend. You know, I hope you did what you were supposed to do and live your life. Now, today's episode, you know, we got another banger for y'all. Today's episode is called Fellas, Why Words Don't Mean Shit to Women. Now, before I go ahead and get into this, I gotta give you a disclaimer. This is me and Bean's personal opinion. This is not factual. This is not the end all be all. This is not the who said it and why. This is not your mama said it and I told you why. This is just how I see things, how Bean see things. It's our opinions. You got your opinions, we got ours. So we're gonna respect them both. Now, how you doing today, bro?
I'm good.
All right.
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Yep. When I worked out this morning.
Yeah, we did. We did.
And we did it up.
Go follow me on Instagram, your boy Canteen. And you can see some of the videos that I post with me and him getting our swole on, you know what I mean? But I wanted to talk about how words really don't mean nothing to women. Now, I know a lot of people be like, what you mean, Canteen? Like, you know, women, all it is mental. They think about, you know, your the game, how you talk to them and everything like that. But the reality is, you ever heard the old saying, actions speak louder than words?
Yes.
That's what I mean by that. Women, you can tell a woman anything you want to tell her, but your actions are what's going to mean something at the end of the day. It's not what you say, it's the words you don't say that means something to her. Meaning, you know, you get this whole concept that people tell us, oh, fellas, you need to, you know, open up to your woman. You need to be more emotional. You need to tell them all your secrets and just how you feeling about the relationship and things. No, the fuck you shouldn't. That's a damn lie. And it's a fucking, if you want to, it's like this. It's like if your girl, you're walking with your girl and your girl say, oh, do you think that girl got a fat ass? You can go ahead and tell her, yeah, if you really want to be gullible and say what you really feel, but she don't really want to hear what you really feel. She might say she does, but she really doesn't. She doesn't care.
She want to hear. Well, nah, she ain't got nothing on you.
That's what she want to hear.
That's
she want to
what she
hear
wanna
that fake. That's what game is. The fake facade that women want to hear. That's gonna get their fucking pussy dripping, get them feeling stimulated by you. But the reality is, the real stuff, they don't want to hear that. They can say, they're going to tell you, everybody in the comments is going to say, he's lying. He doesn't know nothing about women. Da, 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 da. But the reality is, anytime you've ever tried to tell a woman how you truly felt, has it ever worked out? Answer me that.
In my experience, no.
How many times you see guys where they'll just literally confess their love to a woman, get on their knees and just, I need you in my life. I can't live without you. We've seen it so many. Will Smith, people, well, you just show so much, I need you this much in my life. And it comes off weak. It comes off pathetic to women. Women don't look at it as a sign of strength.
Yeah, I think I said this last episode. That's where Will Smith made a mistake where he said he told her there's nothing you can do
That would make me
that
leave
make
you.
you leave you. That is not.
That's the most weakest thing you could ever say to somebody.
That is giving
You
somebody
could-
a green light.
Imagine that's like you as a kid saying your mom and dad says there's nothing you could do that can make me get mad at you. Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Well,
they
I
gonna
could just do. I literally had a friend when I was in high school. We had did some kind of mischievous things where we had a slushy machine,
Okay.
and my friend and me, because it was a kid I didn't like, thought it would be cool to put X-Lax in the slushy machine. So we did, and it worked like a charm.
Hold on. Was this is the all white school that you went to?
Yeah, that's why I went to school. Why?
Yeah,
What do you think that doesn't? You don't think pranks happen at
I'm
white schools?
just saying that's a messed up prank, though.
That's what we do it over there. So it worked like a charm for me because the kid who I didn't like drank the slushy, was shitting all over the place. But we didn't really think it through because we didn't think about everybody else who would be getting slushies too. But wait, what?
I thought you put it in his cup. You
No.
put it in the machine.
Yes,
Do-
we put it in the machine. A whole bottle of them.
No. Why would you?
Yes. So, can I tell the story?
Tell us.
All right. So me and him, we get caught. We get in trouble. People told on us. Well, we go in there. I've never been in trouble really like that before. He had always been in trouble. And he went in there first. Or I don't know who went in first, but I think he went in first. Then I went in. We went separate. They separated us. And it like pretty much when they told me when I got in there with the principal, it was like, we know you did it. Just admit it, or you're gonna get expelled. If you admit it, we'll give you a suspension of whatever. And I was like, all right, yeah, I did it, whatever, cool. So when I come out, my friend was like, what'd you tell him? And I was like, oh, I told him I did. He said, why'd you do that? I said, well, what you mean? Why'd I do that? I didn't want to get expelled. He said, I was gonna take the whole blame and say I did it. I said, why would you do that? He said, because my parents don't care what I do. I've been suspended so many times, they don't care. It doesn't mean nothing to them. They don't punish me. I just go home and just chill.
That's the oldest trick in the book, man.
So it let me know if you don't have no care in the world or no punishment. See, I cared because I get punished at my house. But if my parents never cared, never did nothing to me, I would do whatever I wanted to do with no repercussions. And this is what I'm getting at to this story. Back to what we were talking about. If you tell somebody that there's nothing they can do to get you to be punished, to be in bad standing with you, what are you actually telling them? That they have a free fall to do whatever they want to do.
The green light.
Yeah. So I'm saying you can't give women that actual conversation of, oh, I care this much about you that I will let you could cheat on me and I will still stay with you. You don't tell women these things. You don't say none of that stuff. Let her think what she wants to think. Let her have a mystery about you to where she decides what type of man she thinks you are. And then reality, let your actions show it. Meaning she might think, he ain't gonna never say nothing to me if I call him a bitch. And then when she calls you a bitch, then you address it how you address it, and then you show her by not allowing her to be around you. Scarcity is what shows your actions of how you feel about something. See, words, you could tell a woman, I ain't dealing with this, but every time you allow her to come around you. So your words don't fit your actions.
Yeah, she don't believe you at that
She
point.
ain't gonna believe you. But if you show her, like she used to call you a bitch, and you just like, what? And you just walk away. You walk away, and then she hasn't talked to you in 2-3 months. Guess what's gonna happen? 3-4 months go down the road, she gonna realize I can never call him that ever again because he will not tolerate that from me. He will not entertain me at all because I went out that way. So I'm saying, don't let these women fool you that, oh, you need to tell them your deepest, darkest secrets. She will use that for ammo later on in the relationship.
Yeah, when things go left and she get mad, that's when it come flooding back.
Yeah.
Like
Like
one thing I will say that I've never done.
what?
I've never actually divulged things that I knew that would come back to.
See, the thing is, you might not know what it could come back and haunt you. You think, oh, this thing might come back and haunt me. That's fine. Don't tell it. But there's so much other things that you could tell a woman that she might manipulate you to say that's wrong. Oh, I'm gonna use it. She's gonna use that against you, and you be like, what? Why are you even mad about that? I can't believe you did that. Da, da, da.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd be like, why would I even? Because you're in your mind don't even think that that is an issue, but she'll make
But
an
she'll
issue
make an
because
issue
she
out of
doesn't have nothing else. She's trying to pick what she can use to weaken you to be the good beta male that she wants you to be. That's what it is for them a lot of times. I hate to say that, and I know people are trying to say, "Well, you generalizing women, you're generalizing men." I'm just going off of what I've seen.
Experience.
Experience.
Because I like this, like you said, I have seen women say they don't want their men to be vulnerable like that.
No woman wants their men to be
Yeah.
vulnerable for true, because they're vulnerable. Why would a woman want the same thing as her man to be her? No woman wants her. She wants him to be a rock. She wants him to be something she can lean on. She can tell her deepest, darkest secrets, and he just take it in stride. You know what I mean? But it doesn't work the other way around because now we're being vulnerable. And the way to be vulnerable, you got to trust that that person is truly going to have your best interests at heart.
Yes, and it don't always work out like that.
No.
And the other side of that is a lot of women, you know, when women get together and
Mhm.
little powwows, I've seen them tell their men's secrets to other women
And sometimes they slip up and just say it.
and just say
Oh,
it.
I shouldn't have said that around Keisha because Keisha talk her ass off.
Yeah, I've been on double dates where where double and like triple dates where the couple get in an argument
Mhm.
and they just in front of everybody just, oh well, you don't do this. Oh yeah, well, what about this, and this? I'll be like, oh, like,
Oh yeah. Oh, they look.
oh, this is what we doing?
That's the one thing you can expect. If things are not going well, she is going to run down the table and say the list of everything you've told her that, or everything she's seen you do.
Yeah, and
Oh, remember you gonna talk shit to me when you done pissed in the bed 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? You don't tell nobody that.
And it's rough because a lot of the times it was like my best friends, and it's just like
You don't know where to go with it.
You
You
like,
like,
and then we hanging out later. They be like, man, I ain't really pissing the bed. I'm like, listen, man,
hey man, whatever it is, bro.
whatever, yeah.
I ain't judging. We
Yeah.
all have some, have too
Yeah.
many
I'm
sometimes.
like, listen, man, whatever goes on with y'all, that's y'all.
But let you do that with her and try to embarrass her and say something. She's gonna go below the belt and say some stuff to try to embarrass you. And two, if you try to do that with her, she'll never forgive you. I can't believe you said that in front of them. Like, why would you say that? I can't trust you no more.
yeah, the trust was broken. Yeah.
So it's best to just not say much. Let her believe what she wants to believe and let your actions show how you carry yourself and what you think of her.
And it's sad if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should be able to, express yourself.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's just not reality.
Like,
I mean, at least not mine. I'm gonna say it like that.
Like I have a girl right now that I'm seeing, and she will literally be like, we could go out, on a date, we go hang out, spend time together, and she'll be like, do you care about me? Do you love me? Do you care about me? And not love me? Do you have feelings for me? Do you like me? And I'm like, I mean, why do I have to tell you I like you if I'm hanging out with you? If I wasn't, like my actions show that I like you, but women want you to just like go a step above and try to tell them you like. I'm not gonna do that. Let you think what you want to think. My actions are gonna show what I'm doing. But even still, by me not telling her I like her makes her. You always want to keep that woman in that limbo stage of, does he like me? Does he not like me? I need to know. I need to try to show him that he should like me, because now she's giving her best effort. When she doesn't have that, she's not going to give her best effort, and she's going to throw you to the wayside. Because I always tell you, is she does not love you. She loves the feeling you give her.
I mean, at some point, she got to know it for herself, or at least think it.
No, you need to keep her but you need to always keep her where she's just, when she's always got you pegged that you're this type of person, you should just do something different. Switch it up on her. Because
I'll keep her guessing.
Just like in that movie, I want y'all to go watch this show called Billions. I don't know what episode it is. It's like I think it's in the 4th season or something.
Yeah, I believe
There's an episode where this guy's talking about his father. And the father is a rich, wealthy man. And he grew up with his mother. And his mother used to make breakfast for them every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Pancakes, whatever. Something real big, decadent breakfast. And every once in a while, the father, she would make all the food, everything like that. And the father would just snap. And he'd knock off all the food and be like, do I look like a motherfucking pancake eating motherfucker? And then storm out the house. Now, the wife would be all in tears and crying, and the son never understood why. He'd be like, what is he? He's crazy. Why would he do this? Why would he put my mom through all this? And she'd clean up the whole mess he made. And then maybe hours later or a day later, he'd come back and she'd apologize for whatever she did. And everyone, like I said, every once in a while, it could be months, it could be whatever, he would do this. But one day he was in this room, and his father came into the house and was like, came into his room and was like, son, I need to let you know why I did what I did. Because the son was confused and understood it. He said, I have to show your mom that she should be thankful for the days I don't do that. She should be thankful for it, because you never know what day will be the last. So she needs to be grateful for every day I don't snap and flip out and don't ruin, the day. And I was like, make her feel like she deserves, she did a good job, because I went through the breakfast and didn't snap. And I was like, damn, that's diabolical.
It is.
But it's so true though.
It is. Instead of just telling her this, because he did tell her on the days that were good, he did say, this is a good day. This is
you did a good job.
Yeah, this is my idea of heaven.
Yeah. So I think you need to keep your woman on edge at all times. Do not get to the point where you get comfortable, because when you get comfortable, they get bored. And because they get bored, they not only do they get bored, but then they feel like they can achieve more than what you are. They start taking you for granted.
And that goes back to that whole bad boy thing.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're gonna get with them.
You're never gonna know what you're gonna get with a bad boy, but also a bad boy doesn't care about you to the point where the woman is not caring up that he's a bad boy. The woman is trying to make him want her. That's why I said the feeling of him not wanting her, she's trying to scratch and claw for that feeling of getting him to want her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that it's exciting that he doesn't care. He does what he wants to do. Without no question or remorse, or I wonder if this is gonna affect her. Like, remember you said you were like she said, we were talking about barbershops or something, and she said you said something she didn't like, but then she said the exact same thing kind of in a girl version.
Yeah.
And you were like, well, you said the same thing. If you didn't do it, if you won't do it, I won't do it. And I'm saying a bad boy would be like, I'm gonna keep saying what I want to say, and it doesn't matter what you say.
And it's just
trying to compromise.
I'm trying to.
There's no compromise with bad boys. Bad boys are not gonna compromise.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think,
and mind you, I was married then too.
Yes.
And
Why?
in marriage, you gotta compromise. Well,
You
at least
do-
that's what they
yeah.
tell you.
No, no.
To a degree, you
To a
do.
degree, you need to compromise. But what it seems like it tends to be is the compromise is you're doing what the woman wants. That's what it seems
Yes.
like for most married men that I've talked to.
Yes,
They
and
don't
that's-
seem like they do what they want to do. It seems like they're on eggshells and they're trying to maneuver to where the woman is happy. And this is the problem. When you live a life where you're only secluded to one woman, you have to almost please her to get the things you want, right? Which is her body.
That's where the happy wife, happy life mentality comes in.
Yes.
Which I don't subscribe to that anymore.
Because it's like you're a slave. You're a slave to that woman because
and it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like like I said, you don't always get the energy you give back. You know what I mean? You don't get the energy that you give back from that other person.
no, you don't.
You know what I mean?
You
So-
start caring more about her than you start caring about your own needs.
Yeah,
And
and,
that's the
and
problem.
it's easy to fall into that because I did too.
But how can
And-
anybody? But think about the logic of this. Let's say you care more about her than yourself. How can she look at you as the leader if you care more about her than yourself?
Yeah,
Think about this. What king has ever sacrificed himself for the kingdom?
It's like chess. It's like chess. When the king is down, the game is over.
The game is over. So if the king can't be happy or survive, then there's no game. You have to just say, look, I understand you don't like this, but this is something I need. If you can't get that to me, then you got to go. And this is why I say for men, you can never be so attached to a woman that you can't see yourself without her. Like you are the center of the universe of yourself. You should never be like, well, I need this person in my life that much that I cannot see my life without them. I don't know. I just think it's a real slippery slope to be that attached to one person.
It really is, because when that person is gone, whether it be breakups, divorce, or even death, that you ever see somebody
You're
like
lost.
that, they are lost and they are defeated.
They don't know where else to go because they've only seen their life with that person. They don't
Yeah.
see their life moving on without them.
Yeah.
And that's a strong power to have over somebody, to where you can't even see your life. And I've seen girls like that. I've seen girls with guys, some guys that were really bad for them, that they really couldn't see where their life could go without that person in their life. And I was like, that's a little strange.
Yeah.
But then the same way with fellas, I've seen guys just become nothing because a woman just destroyed their will to live.
I know somebody, and I always promise myself I would never be like this. I know somebody who, like, even he's so bitter and so mad
Yeah.
that to the point, even when like a love song comes on,
Fuck that song.
he is just so angry, and it is real anger. And I tell him, like, dude, you gotta
get some counseling.
that's like you gotta talk to somebody, try to push past this, man. Because I said, think about this. You are sitting here mad because this woman left you.
Yeah.
Man.
But
She out with whoever.
that's
now.
what I was saying. You get so wound up and mad that this woman left you that you got to start over, that you feel less than a man because she doesn't want you or whatever the case may be. But go look at her. She's living her best life.
Yeah.
I feel like when breakups happen, it's two ways you can go about this. You can either be down in the dumps and feel pity for yourself, or you can go ahead and start grinding and be the best person you can ever be.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you're gonna be sad about it, okay? Especially, it wasn't always bad. It just ended badly.
See this, I don't even feel. It's like I don't feel sad. You feel a little disappointed, but I don't feel
Yeah.
sad because the thing is, I'm starting to look at it like women that come into my life are there for whatever time period the Lord or the universe wants them in my life. And when they're gone, that was their time to be around me. That was it. Don't look at it as, oh, I missed out on this great woman. No, because the thing is, you got to start caring more about yourself and understanding you are a prize. She missed out. She missed out. If she can't see what you have to offer or what you're going to become in the next couple of years, then prove her right, prove her wrong, show her, become something more than what you already are, and let her. The best revenge is proving people wrong, becoming something so great and so grand to where they come back to you and try to get back in your life. And I thought about it. I've let girls come back in my life before, and it's never worked. I'm telling you, I'm in my mindset right now to where once you leave me and we're done, we're done. Like, I know you always said, once you leave a girl, you're done for good.
That's it.
I've never
gone
subscribed to that, because I would always be like, well, maybe we knew what we did wrong, so maybe we could work on things. And it's like, why are you fighting the universe? The universe is not working for a reason. Learn from the universe and say, cool, they're lost. I learned what I need, and I get my motivation from them not wanting to be with me.
I mean, I've been there. I've never gone back, but I've had the thoughts like, well, maybe we can make this work.
Yeah, you thought about it.
The thoughts, but
I don't think you'd be human if you didn't have those thoughts.
Yeah, once it was done, it's like, all right.
Because you think about it, think about how. I want you guys to always go back to thinking how you felt when it was at its worst. How you felt like you didn't know where to go. You didn't know how to move. You felt like you were on eggshells. You felt like when you were a kid and you were in trouble by your parents. You didn't know what to say. You're like, like that's what I was feeling. When I was in a bad relationship, I felt like I could do no right. I felt like I couldn't say what I wanted to say around that person and be my full self.
Been there.
It's
rough.
It's like you're watching a movie that you can't change the channel and you're so done with this fucking movie. You're like, I hate this movie, dude. And I'm stuck here in this movie theater because I paid this price.
Yeah,
and I refuse to walk away from this movie theater. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean.
And when you go back to someone after you've broken up, and what happens is you go from that first month coming back, maybe like, because I don't see it going past maybe 2 months before you're back into the bullshit again.
You basically pick up where you left
right
off.
Back into the main part that is the worst part of the movie for you, and you're like, nothing changed. Nothing's changed.
Then it reminds you of why. Oh yeah, that's why.
I left the first time.
That's why I left this movie the first time.
And then they didn't understand what I was wanting. Cut it off. I watched this video and the guy said you'll save way more time and energy going to pursue other new women than trying to pursue women of the past that haven't worked out.
Yeah.
And I was like, he is so true.
And I understand why you want to, because you got history there.
Yeah.
And it was good times there. So of course you're gonna want to, you think about that sometimes. I think that's what gets you. Really.
You think about the great times.
Yeah.
But then you also got to think about the bad times. And you got to ask yourself, were there more good times or bad times? And were the bad times repeatable? Because it's a difference if there's something different each time versus it's the same thing. Because if it's the same thing, then the pattern is, you're just accepting the pattern by bringing them back into your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the only way you could really get back together with somebody is if it's been like a decade. Let's been 10 years, because now 10 years go by, you're going to be a different person. They're a different person.
I'm going to say, hopefully they're a different person too.
I would think so, right? They would have to be. I mean, if you're the same person after 10 years, something is seriously wrong. there's no growth.
Yeah,
That's what
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. So I'm just leaning back because I'm feeling good right now.
I totally get it though. But cause me, my problem was like after I cut it off,
mhm.
I always was good about that. I always tried to make it work while I was in it.
But this is my question. You said you're trying to make it work.
Mhm.
Was she trying to make it work?
No, and that was the problem. And the thing is, when when people on the outside looking in, they can view the terrain better than you can. I've had even my own father tell you. My father always said this to me. Sometimes you just gotta know what you got. Okay.
Damn.
This is it.
Why do fathers say the most simplest things that hit the hardest?
It do. And
You be like, you just gotta know what you got.
you just gotta know what
You
got.
know what you. This is her. This is the type of woman you have.
Yeah, this ain't the first day.
Either you
This is-
can accept this is what the bullshit you're gonna deal with her, or you're not gonna accept it and just move on.
And move on. That's basically what he was saying to me. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right. And then and every time that's why you gotta deal with your elders, because they don't build down this road and they know what to say at the exact moment.
Yeah.
And every time my parents came to me with something, they always made me see it how I see the situation how I needed to see it.
So like for me, when me and my ex broke up, I literally was like, fuck this. I'm gonna grind on myself. I'm grinding. I'm gonna start grinding. I started doing good. Started doing good for a whole 3 weeks. 3 weeks I was doing good. Then that last month, I was like, last week of the month, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start seeing other people to fill this void, right? I'm gonna go on dates. And when you go on dates, you spend money, you go eat food, you drink, you start doing things, trying to be merry and trying to just show a good time to the other person, and then you start gaining weight. So I started gaining a little bit back of the weight that I was losing, and I just even though over the end of the month I was losing weight. Then when I started, I was like, oh, I'm falling off track because I'm filling a void with women.
Yeah.
To fill another void that was in place of a woman. And it's like at that point, imagine if you just didn't fill a void with women and filled the void with yourself.
Exactly.
And just started
fix the void.
Fix the void with just you. Everything is just catered to you. How do you think over time in a year, in 6 months, in 3 months, you're gonna start seeing crazy progress because you're not focusing on women?
Because when you do it that way, the first way, trying to just fill the void, you're just gonna repeat the cycle.
You're gonna repeat the cycle, and you're
That's
gonna start
all
bringing in other problems of other women,
and it's just the void's just gonna get bigger.
And I'm telling you, look, when you just focus on you, and you just leave women on red, you don't even you get back to them when you can. It's not even a priority in your mind no more. You'll just see how abundantly women come at you because they want that attention. They need that attention. But
and I don't mean to cut you off. It's crazy because I even told you today. I'm like, dude, I'll be like, you be right there. You be right at the finish line.
And I swerve
and then you
off.
just swerve off.
Because I start getting like, oh, I'm fighting with myself sometimes.
Yeah, I think you stand in your way.
Yeah, that's true. And you stand in yours.
And I stand in my way.
It's me versus me.
Yeah.
And that's what I gotta keep reminding myself because there was the same reason it didn't work out with my ex is the same reason it's probably not gonna work out for other people if I don't fix who I am for myself and get myself in yourselves into a state of pure you.
Yeah. And that's not just you, that's everybody.
100%.
I'm learning from a lot of the mistakes I've made too in my past relationships and everything. And when I think back, I'm like, man, I messed up a lot, and I'm just working to try to fix them.
And that's what we're trying to do here. Just let you guys understand, if you just focus on you and not focus on women and trying to please women and trying to make sure you say the right things and worry about saying the right things. Stop. If you're that worried about certain things, that's your problem. That's the problem with women. You worry too much about what they care about. And that's why you fail a lot of times, because you got to stop worrying about what they want and worry about what you want. And then do you the way you want to do it. And then women who rock with you will fall in line with what you're doing. I told this, I think I told this a couple episodes ago. If you do start doing things you like to do personally, it could be basketball, it could be hiking, it could be whatever. When you go out into the world and start doing going to the gym, working out, you're gonna end up running into people, which is women. You're gonna end up running into people who you can, friends and women, and you'll start building your own life to where that woman's like, damn, you do this, I do that too. Let's hang out.
Yeah.
Now you find someone who's actually compatible with you.
Yeah.
Problem is, we keep trying to get women who you're like, oh, she looks cute, but they're not compatible at all.
And the thing is, another thing, let's say you do like to play basketball. A lot of people have done this, even including myself. We get in a relationship, and then like my wife would like, oh, you want to play basketball? She would not want me to go out there.
Oh, you mean like, oh, you're gonna play basketball again?
Yes, I hear this a lot in marriages too. It's just, you met me and you knew I like these things, but now that we're together, you don't want me to do these things anymore.
And this is the thing. This is where you have to drop your nuts and not worry about how she reacts.
I'm going to do this. Like I said, like you said, it's a slippery slope. You tend to be like, all right, I'm gonna be,
because you're more worried about reacting to how she reacts to you doing what you want to do,
yes,
than you actually just doing what you want to do.
Yes. And on the other side of that, if you're in a relationship and you know your dude like to play whatever he likes to do,
yeah,
and you met him and this is what he like, don't try to change that. You know what I mean? Like,
and for fellas too, don't try to change a woman.
Yeah.
Let her change on her own. If she wants to change, she'll change. Don't force her to try to change. That's one of the biggest mistakes I did. I tried to get a woman to be how I wanted her to be. And the reality is, you can't change nobody but yourself.
That's it.
You change yourself, maybe they'll start changing. And if they don't change, guess what happens? You change and let her and move them out of your way. That's the reality of it. Stop trying to make women be what you want them to be. Find the women, do how you do. And if you want a woman, like say you want a submissive, cooperative, attractive, non-masculine woman, go hang out with women, and when these women don't fit your categories, move them to the side. Don't try to force them to be submissive. Don't try to force them to be feminine. Either they are or they're not. And the reality is, it's not that they're not, it's that they're not for you. A woman's going to be submissive, but she's only going to be submissive to a certain type of man that fits her category of attractiveness, of status, and how he carries himself. Because I've definitely had women in my past who were submissive, and then they became not submissive towards me because I lost my status with them. I allowed them to. I started changing up because I started getting pussy whipped.
Okay.
Until where I would stop being myself and doing things I wanted to do, or not saying what I should have said because I was worried about how they would take it and things like that.
Yeah. Listen, I've done the same thing. You know what I mean? So why would you say that to me? This and this, and then they get.
I said it because it's the truth. That's why.
Yeah, even if it was true, it
make you feel some type of way.
Yeah,
because we live a life where we just like, oh, I'm not supposed to make women cry. I'm not supposed to. She's a grown woman. If you say something that hurts her feeling, that's part of life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to say things that people might not take well to.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it doesn't need to be said. Hey, if you like the comments, if you like what we saying, man, put a comment in the section. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you want to go ahead and support the channel, man, hit the donation button. You can go ahead into the Cash App, type in the Cash App and you can get us the one time with the one time. My man, he love his Lunchables. All right. But that was just a short little. So back to what we were saying. Yeah. What do you got?
And speaking about being honest and things like that, that's definitely key. My mother gave me advice too, right before I got married.
Okay.
And it was a list of things. But the one that stuck out the most was be truthful and be honest, even if it hurts their feelings.
That's so true, dude. I don't understand. The truth hurts. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It does.
It hurts. It's a hard motherfucking pill to swallow.
Yeah.
But it needs to be told.
Yeah.
In some form. If it's to a point where if it's something you don't like, you know, I always tell you, you don't have to tell a woman you don't like something. You just change how you just change your actions. She says something, and then you just, hey, I'm taking you home. She call you a bitch. She say something disrespectful. Hey, I'm about to take you home. Why? I'm just taking you home. Your actions of cutting off the interaction right there, let her know she made a misstep. She said the wrong thing. She acted the wrong way. But instead, you sit there and be like, either don't say nothing and try to act like you didn't hear the shit, or you go into a whole rant. Why don't call me that? Why the fuck you calling me? Now you getting emotional. You reacting to something. React by your actions. Just leave. She is not that important to your life to be disrespected, to be talked to a certain way, to be not getting the cooperation you need for her. Because the only thing men want from women is the ass and cooperation. That's it. Ain't nothing else the men really want from women. Loyalty, the ass, cooperation.
Yeah.
If there's anything else, please put in the comment section and let me know. But as long as she cooperates and she's a joy to be around, and she's gonna be loyal to you and not backstab you, and she gonna give up that, you don't care about nothing else. There's nothing else that you're really looking for. You ain't looking for funds. You know, I ain't looking for no sugar mama. I don't care how much money she really makes. I just want her to have a job. She gotta have a job. She gotta do something for herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
She can't be no bum. Cause all I'm thinking, if she a bum, she gonna be looking for me to try to bail her out, and I ain't bailing nobody out. I ain't doing that.
We're adults. You gotta get your own money.
Facts. Anything else you want to talk about before we get up out of here?
Yeah, real quick. I put up a post about earlier about the strong, independent Black woman.
Okay.
And the reason I put that up was because, well, she basically was saying the Black community, Black women are the only ones who take pride in this.
Do you want me to pull it up?
It's on the social norm page, so
I can find it. But go ahead.
So basically, she's saying, you know, we as Black people, we're the only ones who take pride in being separate from one another.
Mm-hmm. And
she basically, you know, you don't hear white women say this, you don't hear Chinese women say this, and things like that. And I was like, man, that's so true, because I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. I was out with some family and friends, and I haven't seen this person in years. Oh, there it is, right there.
Okay, hold up.
All right,
go ahead.
Okay, so I hadn't seen this person in years, and we just catching up. And I used to date this person, and just being curious, I was like, hey, you ever end up getting with somebody? Or because she said she always want to get married and have kids. And I was like, you ever meet anybody new? And then she hit me with that. No, I don't need no man because I'm a strong, independent Black woman. And I was like, okay. Did you still want to get married and all this other stuff? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay, well then how's that working out for you?
We're the only ones.
All
right, so look, I mean, cut off your story. You want to tell the story first, or you want me?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So we're gonna play this for y'all, and we're gonna see what he's talking about. Let's watch this.
We have to separate ourselves so much from each other. Why is Black women one separate entity and Black men are another separate entity? That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how any other race operates, but we're the only ones who operate like that and think it's functional. You feel me? I've said it before. Why do we get the label of strong, independent Black woman? We don't hear that from nobody else. I've never heard strong, independent white woman, strong, independent Asian woman, strong, independent Latino woman, strong, independent Indian woman. I never heard none of that. But we pride ourselves being strong, independent Black women, as if independence is something that we should strive for as a people. Independence is death. Everybody needs somebody. And the reason why we're struggling in our households and our communities is because we think that there's something good about being independent. Black women need Black men, and Black men need Black women.
Hell yes.
Yeah. And
I now that right there, I wish that I hope that go viral because
yeah.
it's so much disconnect from the Black woman and the Black man of being a unity, of being a team and a partnership.
Yeah.
And I can say for a fact, I mean, you hear it where they say, you know, niggas ain't shit.
Yeah.
That's just Black women saying that. And then,
And I hate to put it like this, but that is a Black statement.
But then you
Because
hear
Black
bitches
men.
ain't shit, and that's mostly Black men
men.
calling
That's-
Black women
yes.
this. So it's sad that we as a culture are so divided, and the Black woman have to try to make a when I hear Black women say I'm a strong Black independent woman, I feel like they're trying to make themselves higher than a man status. And it's like in every race of people, men are always supposed to be the leaders. Not saying that anyone is better. I'm just saying there's a status level of who rules the community and who is the leader of the community. And it's like when you have women trying to be over men and try to tell men how to do things in a community, there's always going to be that because look how dysfunctional stuff is when you just like, if you just let women just run everything, it would be so dysfunctional because they live off of emotions. A lot of them are emotional, and that's the yin to the yang. When the reason a lot of men should not be emotional, not saying they aren't, because we've grown to be very feminine. Men are not emotional because women are emotional, and when we click together, we become a team. We balance each other. What I don't bring to emotion, she gives, and what she doesn't have as far as calmness and the stableness of things, I bring. That's what it's supposed to be with men and women.
Yeah.
And for some reason, women, well, in our society, we have always had that breakup of the family.
Yes. And I was trying to tell her that yesterday, like, because it kind of turned into this type of conversation where men and women divided. Because she asked me, well, because she did ask me, it's like, well, how come we didn't work out? And I was 100% real with her. I was like, you don't know anything about working together. I was like, that was your biggest problem right there.
Yeah.
And her idea of working together is this, like, let's say we wanted to buy a new table, right? She would come to me like, listen, we need a new table. I'm like, okay, cool. She'd be like, well, we can work together and get this table together. Now, when I hear together, I think, okay, we're going to combine our money, combine our resources,
and go find a table that we both enjoy.
Now, her idea was,
I already know what it is.
I pick the table, you buy it.
Yes.
I was like,
that was a team effort.
I was like, that's not working together. He said, well, how do you say that? I said, because you're not working towards it. You're telling me
to work
towards it.
And you're going to pick it out.
And you're just going to pick it out. So I can do all that.
That'd be like, you know what that'd be like? That'd be like back in the day when you had the slaves picking the cotton and going through all the hell of doing the work to get the cotton.
Yeah.
And then the slave owner would reap the benefits of selling the cotton. Yeah. They're not both out there doing it together. And if they are, you're only the one benefiting from it, not me. Exactly. So why not we both do the same effort of work? But this is the thing. It'd be fine if that was what you were comfortable with.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable with just paying for it and she picking it out as a team effort, and you're telling her, no, this is how I see us being a team. That's where the communication comes in.
Yeah, and I would tell her that, and she never would see that. Like, no, you, we did work together, and that's the thing. Let's say I did do that. Let's say I did buy the table. The worst part about that was she would tell me, look what we did, look what we bought, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, no, we didn't do this. I did this.
Because I think in her mind, anything you do because I am your woman, it's we did it.
Yeah, and I was like, no, that's not.
In your mind, that's not a team thing. That's
It's
me, and then you're just tagging along. Because I could have done this without you.
And that's what I told her. I said, that's why we didn't work out, because not just buying things, but as other things went on, I realized that I didn't need you for
anything.
Like, so, and that's why she was mad about it.
Well, the truth hurts.
Yes, it does. I was like, that's why. And she always had this thing where she always never wanted to pay her own bills, right? And that's
okay. This is the thing. I do believe when you say pay her own bills, are you saying bills that she wanted to create herself?
Yes. I mean, no type of bill whatsoever.
No, what I mean is, like, let's say you have Verizon, and she's like, "Well, I want to go to AT&T," and she goes and gets her own AT&T account to have her own phone bill. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and then she was like, "Here, this is whatever."
No, see,
like,
my thing is this: if you want a person to pay all the bills, you put yourself as a disadvantage.
Yes.
And you put yourself in a child role, meaning if I pay all the bills, I am the judge, the jury, and the executioner. And that's pretty much how it's always been. And since early days, if the man was the judge, jury, and executioner, and he would he'd say what's gonna go and what's not gonna go. And women would have to deal with that because they were putting themselves in that position. But if you're a working woman and you can provide towards a true partnership and a true teamwork, why would you not want to do that?
And that's the thing. She did work. She just never wanted to spend her own
That's what I'm
money.
saying. You're not trying to contribute to the relationship, to us building together. What you're trying to do is let me build and you stack your money up on the side. And if shit goes bad, you can just dip with your money.
Out.
That's how I see that.
And it was so bad to the point where, well, she's not the only woman I date like this, but it was so bad to the point where, like, her parents pay for a car, her parents pay for a cell phone, her parents.
Well, they're enablers.
Yeah, and I didn't realize this till later on down the line, but
that's where it comes down to.
Yeah, and and that came up too, and I was like, well, how's that working out for you? And she got all mad. She got mad about it. I was like, I'm not trying to be a jerk about this or nothing. It's just that how is what you're doing? Like, you want to live a certain way, right? How is it being an independent, strong, independent Black woman? How is that getting you the results that you want?
Well, my question is, but she's that's not an independent.
Well, I
Black
told
woman.
her that too. If someone
that's not even the definition of independence.
Yeah, I told her that too. I did tell her if someone else is paying for your lifestyle, you are not a dependent. You are not independent.
You're a dependent.
Yeah, and I told her
you depend on me.
She didn't want to hear none of that.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to want to hear it, but it's the truth.
I was like, you asked me this, and I'm telling you this is why.
The biggest problem with people today, men and women, is they don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah.
And the truth is we're not going into it as a team. I'm trying to better us together. It's more, I'm trying to better myself.
Yes. And the thing is, and I hate to use this acronym, but it's so true. I told her, remember that team together, everyone achieves more.
Yeah.
Right. I said the key word.
Gay. No,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I was like, the key word to that is together. And a lot of people, I realize a lot of people do not know what that is to truly work together.
That's why I say work on yourself.
Yeah.
Work on yourself by yourself until you are comfortable enough to where you understand when you get with somebody, you are an actual team. And you actually need to understand the dynamic of who is the leader of the team. You guys got to figure that out. And you got to, and I'm going to tell you right now, I think the reason black people have struggled so much is because we have not did the structure of, look at most races of people where everybody would, I would have to say the men are the leaders in most of the races of people. Now, yeah, we got some pussy whip dudes who let their wives run them, but for the most part, most men in other races of people run the relationships.
Yeah, because in the black community, we don't really have the same
respect. They don't have the same respect for men
and family structure.
Yes,
that other families do. Now I'm blessed, and she was blessed enough to have
both
their parents. Here goes the thing: the difference between our parents and theirs. My parents truly worked together, through thick or thin. My mother held my father down, even when he was he got laid off his job. My mother, she went to work until he got back on his feet, and then they just.
I was blessed by both my parents. My father was a good provider. My mother, she worked too. Did they get along well? It was some struggle when I was a kid, but they stayed together and they're still together to this day.
Yeah, mine too.
And it's something to said about that, that I do respect that they're in it for the long haul. Kind of like the Ozarks.
Back then, divorce was not a thing.
Yeah.
You stuck it out. Y'all in it to the end.
Yes, but my aunt, she's divorced. Like my mother just never wanted to leave this man. Leave my father. And I respect her for that.
Listen,
and my father stayed with my mother too. I think most of the time it's I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, my father knew what he had. Like they argued, they got in each other's nerves. But my father knew if things went bad, my mother held him down. Now, this girl used to date, her parents, they still together. They both work, but her father did everything.
You mean like the cooking, the cleaning?
I literally went to his house. This dude was like on his hands and knees.
This thing.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it if it works for y'all relationship.
Yeah.
If you're the type of man who likes to cook, clean, and this is just something you are that way, and she's not, she does other things, that's fine. Whatever works in the relationship.
The problem was she was trying to make me be like her father.
Yes.
I was like, no, that's that man. That's your parents' marriage. That's not me.
Yeah. So like with me, my ex, her parents were married, but then they got divorced. They were divorced. So she mainly lived with her mother, even though her father was in her life, but she was, her mother. And I could say for something I noticed about her with me was, and it could be because she maybe just didn't trust me or whatever the case may be. She wasn't open to being a team.
Really?
She really wasn't. That's one of the biggest issues I had with her was the stuff I was trying to make into a team with us through working together. She was not really comfortable with that.
Did she want to be married or anything like that?
She said she didn't care. She said
she really was not about teamwork at all. She
said it would be okay. At one point, she was talking about maybe possibly, but then in the beginning, she said she didn't care to be married, or she never pictured herself being married because she didn't think, no man would want to marry her or something like that.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe her parents' divorce damaged her.
I don't know.
I don't want to say damaged her, man. I'll say affected her.
I just know when I would try to make it about a team thing with us, I felt pushback. Yeah. So I learned, I think I should have known then that this wasn't going to work, but I like anybody, you try to, well, maybe things will get better and things will change around, but it never did.
I get that. And that's why it goes back to me saying a lot of people really either don't know or don't want to work together.
Yeah.
You want to be in a relationship, but you don't want to work together. It's not going to work.
But you got to also realize, like you said, you could want somebody to work with you as much as you want. You could want to be a
Yeah.
team and y'all be a power couple and y'all build together, but it takes two to tango. If the other person is not on the same accord of communication and the same plan you're trying to do, then it's not going to work. That's why I say for men, you need to focus on yourself and know exactly what type of woman, what type of thing you're trying to do, to where women can fit like a glove right in there and understand where you're going and what you want. Because if they can't get along with what you're trying to do, it's never going to be the other way around. You're never going to be happy doing what a woman wants. You're not. You're not going to be happy living a life that she wants to live, and that's not what you want to live. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to psychologically resent her,
That's true.
and then you're just not going to want to give your all to that person. And vice versa. I don't think a woman really wants to give her all to somebody who's not giving her what she wants. So that's why I say, fellas, as the leader of the family, you are supposed to know what type of person you want. Don't try to go with a woman just because she looks good. If she doesn't fit your program for you, then it doesn't work. And everybody's like, well, why does it got to be the man? Because the man is the leader. That's why it has to be what the man wants from this woman. If she can't provide what he wants, she needs to go and move on to another man that she can provide for. Because it's not going to work just because he thinks she's cute, or she can give some good head, or whatever the case may be. She has to be a part of the program.
That's the only way to do it.
That's the only way
We
to
gotta
do it.
work together, and I just feel that we as a black community, we are lacking in that.
So much. It's
Yeah.
like, but it comes with, it's either the man's got to take a back seat role and let the woman lead, or the woman has to take her natural back seat role and let the man lead. But if both people are trying to lead the relationship, it's never going to work.
Yeah, and like I told a friend of ours that they're at like a standstill. She's at a standstill.
She don't want to give in. He don't want to give in.
And I said, one of you guys are going to have to.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. See how she will not give in, but that's the nature of the independent black woman. They do not want to give in to being the submissive woman.
Yeah, and I told her, I was like, listen, I've been down this road where you're at, because she even said, oh, your relationship mirrored mine and this and that. So I was like, yes, and that's why I'm telling you.
You know what I think it is? I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. You know why I think black women hate the word submissive? Because submissive makes you feel like a slave. Not make you feel like that, but we always associate slavery with submissiveness, right?
Yeah.
So I think black women do not want to get back into that mode of what we grew up with in America, of being submissive, of having to be told to do something that they did not like. So they fight any submissiveness, even if it benefits them, because it's just not in their natural way of doing things in the last 100 years. So Hispanic women, white women, Asian women have no issue with being submissive to their man. So why the struggle? I think it's because of that right there. I think that's the reason.
They equate submission with slavery.
Yeah, it has to be.
I mean, yeah, because I've heard them say, well, I ain't no slave. I ain't your slave. I'm not your maid. I get that. I get what you mean.
And when you say, I need a submissive woman, she thinks weak. So you want a weak woman. And it's like, no, weak does not mean submissive. It means cooperative.
Working together.
Willing to cooperate with what I need for you to do. That's what submissive is. Not trying to be the leader and going with the flow of what the leader is trying to do to get to the accomplishment that you're trying to get, which is building a dynasty.
Yeah. And you know what? I wasn't going to tell the story, but I'm going to tell it.
Tell it.
I used to go to this. My family used to go to this church years ago.
Okay.
My mother hates when I tell this story because my mother loved this church. My father loved this church. It was an okay church, and it was led by this man, and everything was going great.
Okay.
He ends up having a stroke, and
Oh.
he ends up unfortunately he ends up getting bedridden and having a stroke. So he passed it. He passed the leadership on
To his wife.
no temporarily to somebody who was under a female who was under him. Okay. And everything was good at first, but after a while, you can tell decisions were made, like people were put in place and people were taken out of position, not because they were the best or the worst for the job. It's because
She didn't like him.
I don't like you, so I'm going to demote you. And I'm going to put you
Oh.
over here. And I'm going
So
to
pretty much
I'm going to put my friend in
based off
here.
of emotion, not
Yes, and
off
and,
of necessity.
and the church ended up, going downhill and basically
Folding.
They're still kind of open now, but it's not what
It used to be.
And I always used to tell my mother that.
So she
listen,
ran that fucking church in the ground.
it was a bunch of them that ran that church in the ground. Just
Too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Yes, and the thing is, the church was basically ran by women, and I used to tell my mother, like, look, if the man were a leader again, it would all this nonsense wouldn't be going on. When I was a kid at the time, she used to hate when I used to say that stuff. Yeah. But now, so many years later, she admitted, she's like, yes, I agree. When he was running this, all this stuff didn't happen.
Because men are logical. We base our things off of logic. Like, think about back in the Stone Ages. Like, men were, cavemen and stuff. They had to go off of logic. They couldn't base things off of just emotions all the time because things is dangerous out there in the world. So you have to be logical. Logical is, let's not walk out into the woods at night, because everybody who walked out at night didn't come back.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
That logically will say, I'm gonna wait, even though I'm hungry. I'm gonna wait till the morning to start finding some berries and nuts and things like that. But women probably would have been like, I'm hungry now. Fuck logic. I'm going out there and get some. And that's the difference. They base it off of emotions and not off of logic. And you need both. Not saying that women, the emotional side is necessary too.
Yes, you do.
In some times. But there's a lot of times when it comes to structure that logic always wins out over.
Yeah, because I watched this man like argue with like certain people in the church, certain men in the church.
Yeah.
But like when it was time like to promote, like
he would promote them.
And I'm like, he would promote based off like, you're good at this, so I'm gonna make you.
So even if he had issues with that person, he would still promote them because he knew overall they were better than the other guy.
Yeah, they'd be like, I think you make a good deacon, so boom, I'm gonna promote you.
So he can make judgment calls based off of logic.
Yeah, even if I don't like you, you're good at this.
Well, so they always say, man, keep your enemies close.
Yeah.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
So I always did respect that about him. And the church ran perfectly.
Yeah, like, because you know why? When somebody, and it shows that in 48 Laws of Power, when you help out someone who's your enemy, someone who's, y'all don't get along, and you have no reason to, and I hold the cards. Say you and me don't get along, and I hold the cards to give you the promotion. You just know I'm not gonna give you this promotion.
This dude don't like me. He ain't gonna be.
But then what I do is I give you the promotion. You know what's gonna end up happening? You're gonna end up working 10 times harder for me than any of my friends would, because now you want to prove to me that you actually deserve this. Mm-hmm. That you know what, I could do this, even though we don't get along. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna work harder for me. So that's just some stuff that you just learn. But I mean, will there ever be hope for the Black community in the divide between Black men and Black women once we all stop bashing each other?
Yes.
Of what we're not doing and start trying to find solutions to what we can do together
Exactly.
to build back the
It's-
trust and the love.
It's maybe because I'm just noticing it. I don't know, but it just feels like it's so much more. Or maybe because I see it online all the time on
Like-
Facebook. It's just so much.
They get mad at me a lot because they say, you know, when I talk about things black women have done that I am embarrassed of, they a lot of times the black women take it as I'm putting them down, or I'm, you know, or you're trying to be disrespectful to black women because you're showing things black women do that are bad. And I'm like, well, I'm showing them, and I wish you showed them more to say we won't tolerate this in our community. And I have no problem showing the ignorant stuff men do if somebody wanted to come on the channel and talk about it. But
Yeah.
we're only one, you know, avenue, one channel. So we have to fit what we can fit in our little hour time.
Yeah.
So hey man, we got through the weekend. Now we got to start this week. The man is gonna get on us, man. He gonna try to ride us out, try to put the whip to the back and just make us, I don't know where he's gonna make us do, but he's gonna try to get as much as he can get out of us. Do not fall for it. Put more time into yourself.
Yes. Invest in yourself.
Put more time and energy to things you want to do. Give the man the bare minimum. Do not give him any more, because he'll take as much as he can get out of you.
I'm also, and he gonna give you the bare minimum.
Exactly, when he can. Once again, man, hey, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our next videos. We go every Monday and Friday, 4:30 Eastern time. And maybe we might start going back to doing some more reaction videos, because we definitely got to add some more of those. And like I said, if you want to hit the donation bell, go to Cash App, put the donation Social Norm Podcast. Hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Facebook, The Social Norm, your boy Canteen. And any questions or anything you want us to talk about, let us know. That's it, man. I'm your boy Canteen. This is my man Beans.
You guys have a good week.
All right, man. Shit. I don't
Here
know.
you go. End that shit.
So you better pay attention. They teach you lessons, make you laugh when you're stressing. Must I mention that the style is infectious? I gotta have it, I gotta have it. The rapid fire gabbing on my tablet. My boys established a gamut of information from relations to